Hey everybody, I wanted to give you a couple of updates on some very important things, namely Medicaid and Social Security. Earlier this week, Republicans on a very narrow 217 to 215 party line vote passed a really disgraceful budget resolution that, number one, is deeply irresponsible fiscally. It would add roughly $4 trillion to the debt over a decade. Our debt is already $36.1 trillion. This would only make that worse. They really had no real back and forth in terms of trying to reduce the deficit or reduce the debt. And that's a huge missed opportunity because there are a lot of us on our side of the aisle that care deeply about getting that under control. And number two, it would really gut Medicaid, which of course in California is known as Medi-Cal. The Republican budget has a minimum of $880 billion in cuts to Medicaid. In fact, that number could be as high as $1.5 trillion. And what that would mean, which we know based on the Republican budget outline, is that they would go after the FMAP program, basically the federal funds that match state funding, in California, Medi-Cal funding, and also impose what's known as a per capita cap on per person Medicaid funding. And what that means is in a district like ours, in the 49th, we have roughly 130,000 people, tens of thousands of seniors, children, families, folks with special needs who would lose their health care altogether, who could, you look at seniors in Medi-Cal nursing homes who could be forced on the street. You look at children who could be forced to go without health insurance, or families who would have to go without health insurance. Community clinics, like the one I visited recently, the Vista Community Clinic, could be forced to either shut down or cut back on services. It's truly reprehensible. And now what they're going to do is take that budget resolution and they're going to put the meat on the bones. So we're going to see exactly what they intend to cut. They claim that somehow they're going to use waste, fraud, and abuse to make up all these cuts, but there's simply not enough there. It really will require a massive amount of reduction in Medicaid as well as nutrition aid. And it's just really, really the wrong approach. And I think it's important to explain what this is all about. Why are they doing this? Why are they adding $4 trillion to the debt? Why are they cutting $1.5 trillion, between $880 billion and $1.5 trillion from Medicaid? Why are they making it so more seniors will not have a place to live or health care, or more children will go without enough to eat? To pay for tax cuts for their billionaire donors like Elon Musk. We know from the 2017 Trump tax scam that a huge chunk, over 80% by some estimates, of the benefits of that legislation went to the top 1% of taxpayers. We also know that that bill did not pay for itself, not even close. And so the same lies are being told today, that somehow these tax cuts would magically pay for themselves. And when they say that the tax cuts are going to help the middle class, we're all about helping the middle class. We'd like to work with them together on a plan to help the middle class. But that's not what this does. It takes away from those most vulnerable so that those at the top get an even bigger tax cut. The other thing I'll mention to you all is Social Security. So earlier this week on the DOJ website, there was a list of Social Security facilities across the country that the website said would be closed. The leases would not be renewed for those facilities. And one of them, it said, was Carlsbad, California. There's only one problem. There is no Social Security facility or office in Carlsbad, California. There's one right across the freeway in Oceanside. So we started trying to investigate to figure out what's going on. We got a very unhelpful statement from the Social Security Administration saying they could neither confirm nor deny. A local reporter went out to the local offices there in Oceanside and in San Marcos recently, and the workers knew nothing about it. But what I said to that reporter is just give it a couple days. Give it a couple days. And sure enough, yesterday, the Washington Post reported that DOJ, Elon Musk's DOJ, which I think stands for Destruction of Government by Elon, They said up to a 50% cut in Social Security personnel and Social Security field offices, which certainly could include our field offices in our district. And what that means for seniors is longer wait times. It'll be tougher to get the benefits that they've earned. And we know for so many in our communities, that is the lifeline. That Social Security check really is the lifeline between being able to make ends meet and not. So I'm going to fight back with everything I have. I'm going to fight back legislatively, procedurally, supporting litigation, and also with communication. And where I need your help is mobilization on the ground. Talk to your friends, your neighbors, your coworkers, your family members. Let them know the stakes, because we cannot allow Medicaid and Social Security to be cut like this. It's unconscionable. We can't let it happen. Thank you.